Hey guys, welcome back to the All Gen Gamers podcast. This is episode number 82. I can't believe it's 82, Johnny.
Oh,
Unbelievable.
I'm actually on the floor. I passed out for about 5 minutes figuring that out. I just got off the floor. I'm recovering now, and then you say it to me again.
I'm going to say it every time I introduce the show, just because it's tradition now.
We're going to get to the point where we've done more episodes than Johnny's hooked up with women. So we're getting closer to that, right? The 100 mark?
That's a whole other thing, too.
And of course, we are joined by our good friend, John. Gamester81. What's up, John?
What's going on, peeps? How you guys doing?
And we're joined by Pete Dorr. Pete, how are you doing, sir?
Doing pretty good.
And of course, Mr. Johnny Millennium. Happy Console Gamer. What's up, Johnny?
I can't believe it's episode 82. I'm still on that.
Get him out of here. Get him. And our special guest today is my cousin once again, Derek, a.k.a. Dirty Dongles. The dirtiest of them all. Welcome, Derek.
Hello, gentlemen. Glad to be here again.
So what happened was he flew down, from Portland to come see me here in the big AZ. He had never been down here before, so it was just almost a last minute thing. Like, what, a couple weeks? Right? You talked to me about it, and I was like, yeah, hell yeah, I got a place now, so let's do it.
More or less, yeah. I've been telling you since you moved down here years ago. Oh, I'm going to come see you. And then, just never did. And so, I had some extra money laying around, and all I got to do is pay for the plane flight down and, come hang out with you and do whatever we can and check it out. It's been amazing, actually. It's been a pretty nice state from what I've seen. We didn't spend a lot of time outside. Even when we went outside, we went to arcades.
First time here?
It is, yes. And it's a hell of a lot nicer than how it is back where I live. Somebody sent me a picture the other day. It's just downpouring. So
you're close to me because I'm in Vancouver. So that's all it's doing here is raining. So our weather is very much similar. So it's nice. It's been a nice break. Let's just say to usher in the springtime weather and whatnot. It's actually been a little bit nicer of late as far as not being as cold, but definitely a lot of rain in the Oregon. Hey, Jason.
Yes, sir.
Jason, I just got to ask you. This is a curious question because you live down, obviously, in Arizona now. Would you ever move back to Portland?
It's actually funny. People ask me that. And
I ask him all the time, actually. When are you moving back?
And I love Oregon. I do love Oregon. Would I move back? Probably not. And I say that just because I have a lot going on here. When I came down here, I don't want to get into the whole story and bore everybody.
Yeah, no worries. I was always curious. I know your family.
You know what? And I've said this so many times, and I will say it till the day I die. I love the Northwest in the summertime. I love it there. The weather is perfect. It doesn't get any better than that. It's beautiful. Yeah. The water and the mountains and everything. It's just beautiful. So ultimately, Johnny, I'd like to get like a little a little love pad over there, and then I'll just snowbird to and from.
Snowbird.
Yeah.
And I will say this about Arizona. No offense to those women up there in the Northwest, but a 10 up in the Northwest, because I grew up in Seattle, is really like a 5 down here. Like this is a mecca for. I don't know if you guys have gone out and like.
Oh yeah.
I completely agree with you, John.
It's unbelievable down here. So good eye candy.
As I say to Jason all the time, the hot women, they follow the sun. Wherever the sun is, that's where they go. You can find hot women everywhere, but where the sun is, you're going to find them a lot more frequently. And
that's the thing, too. It's so hot that they just want to take off their clothes.
It's perfect.
No, seriously.
I mean, it's the reason why I think we all came here in the first place.
Right.
No pun intended.
Oh, God.
Too easy.
Hey, D, I have a question for you. Okay, the name Dirty Dongles, is your dongle dirty, or what's the name? Like, where's that come from?
It's just been my gamer tag for a long time, actually. It started out Dirty D, and then the dongles part came when I was having my computer built, and the guy that was building it said dongle to me, or when I asked him what something was, and I said, "Excuse me," and he's like, "Dongle," and I'm like, "That's fucking hilarious." So I just was like tacked it on the end, and
There we go.
It does sound very sexual, though.
It does.
I dare you to put a chick down there and say, dude, I'm Dirty Dongles.
That's what I thought it was all
see
about.
what she says. She comes over and...
Luckily, he's just visiting, so we get the hell out of town.
Yeah, you won't see her again.
It's true. That's true.
Fuck it. That's funny. Yeah. Well, hey, welcome down there, EZ.
Yes, it's been awesome. Like I said, we went out yesterday for a good portion of the day, but we also spent a lot of time inside digging for video games. Spent too much money, and we went to a couple arcades and did that up. And man, there's nothing quite like it in Oregon that I know of compared to some of the arcades we went to. So
Ground control's tight though.
it is. No, that's definitely the closest thing. But past that, like. Man, it's like a whole castle filled with arcades. It was ridiculous.
Castles and coasters is what he's referring to.
Yeah.
Jason and I haven't mentioned it before, but yeah, this place has got unbelievable. So it was a good time. I met up with you guys.
Yes.
Yeah, John, you came out. It was good. Good to hang out.
Showing me the ropes on Donkey Kong. That was cool. I've never actually seen anybody tell me the little fine details about it as it's happening. And then we got to watch Jason on the Miss Pac-Man arcade. He was ripping it up. It's really intense, even just watching him.
Did you even higher than that when I left?
No, that was the last time I played it, man. I can't ruin a game like that.
Would you get like 110?
What was it?
110,000?
I don't remember.
I think it's 109 or 110.
Yeah, it was like on speed, like the super fast Pac-Man, which is like the best.
And I'm not like a Ms. Pac-Man player, but I don't know what it was. I just really was feeling the game, and it was happening. So, and I know there's people out there like the high score for that cabinet it was like 150, and I think that's a great score. You know what I mean? So my 110 is really nothing, but for me, I think that's pretty good.
And then, John, you'd be happy after you left. We finally made it down to the center, and we were going through the pinball machines, and he found the Batman one, and he was ripping it up.
Yeah.
Did you play that Batman one?
Oh, yeah.
It's a good machine. Oh, my God. What did I get?
You got 54,039,700 points. It was
Nice.
ridiculous. The next game he played after that, horrible. But the one
All three
before
balls
it,
done. Yeah.
That's a fun pin. That's a fun pin.
It is a good one.
Stern, yeah.
So,
me, I didn't do so well. I was a Spider-Man right next door.
That's the Batman like returns, right? The Batman.
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's good stuff.
A lot of motion and moving stuff in it. It was really cool.
Back in the day, in the late 90s and 2000s, Derek, he would come over to my place every weekend, right? Religiously. And we would play. And I mentioned this last time you were on the show, for everyone who listened to that episode too. You know, he would come over every weekend and we would play games. We would play Super Nintendo, 64. We'd just play whatever we could. So it just feels good to do that again. I haven't seen him for a while and he's never been here. So that's really what's been going on here at the Heine residence.
Yeah.
Well, what do you guys been playing? Because you said a couple of days you've been hanging in.
Well, do we want to get into that games we've been playing recently?
Might as well start off. Yeah.
Yeah, we might as well do it. So
I just wanted to interject real quick though, because I go to Bookman's and meet up with these guys. And like they'd already been there for probably over an hour or more.
Yeah.
I don't know how long you guys were there for.
The hell did you buy? Jesus.
So I go in this place and then they have like literally these baskets full of games. And I wasn't sure what all these games were for. I wasn't sure if like maybe the employee was restocking these or whatnot. I'm like, what were these baskets? And they're like, oh yeah, these are ours. We're buying these.
Yeah.
Like they each had a shit ton of games.
we were
so
double fisting.
They were.
I want to take the opportunity right now to say that all of you, all four of you, are responsible for the problem that I created by spending money on games. Each one of you has made me want to play so many games. It's ridiculous. So as I start collecting, not as much as Jay, but I did spend more money than he did yesterday.
What did you grab? What games did you get?
So what happened actually was before I came up here, the week before I was at a Goodwill and I found a complete Dreamcast. And I was just laying on the shelf and I looked over and I was like, oh. And I was like, you guys talk about the Dreamcast on here all the time. I know it's a good machine. My brother told me about it. Jason always talks about it. So I was like, I looked at it and I was like, picked it up, kind of turned it around. I was like, okay, I'm walking away with this. I'm at least going to walk around and think about this.
How much was it?
It was $25.
Not bad. With a controller and everything?
Yeah, 2 controllers.
Wow, that's a good deal.
It didn't have the VGA cords, but it had the other adapter. I can't remember what it's called. All the other cords. So I walked around. I took a picture. I sent it to Jay. I'm like, "Is this a good price?" He's like, "Dude, buy it." You know, that's all he said back. He's like, "Buy it. If you don't, I'm coming." You know. And so
I'll fly in for that shit.
Yeah.
So what I told him is when I came here is like, you know, yeah, I want to go through your collection. I'm not going to be able to go through all of it, but I want to know some Dreamcast games. You know, and now that I have a Dreamcast, you know, I powered it on. I don't have any games to try it out, but powered on. So So I was like, I got to come back with at least one Dreamcast game. And he looks at me and he's like, just one?
That's not going to happen.
Right. So I kind of went after that stuff first. And I'm trying to think of games off the top of my head. I did get Phantasy Star Online because you talk about that all the time, John.
Nice. Oh, did you, like these just the these with the actual cards as well? Sorry, the boxes as well.
No, just the cases and whatnot. Nothing like complete.
They're just showcased. Yeah.
That's what they came with. Though. They didn't have a box. Did they?
Well, I don't know actually.
Dreamcast games, didn't they just hang on the wall, right? They just like a hang.
They had a little tab.
Just like PlayStation.
Yeah. They didn't have any box. It wasn't like Saturn. It wasn't like that.
Anyway. So I got Phantasy Star. There was a couple of smaller, no-name games that were, a cheap price, so we were going to take a chance on it. I got Shenmue because I know you've talked about.
Oh, nice! Before. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah.
Kind of interested to try that out. And then I got the one game that I had to get for the console, and Jason knows I'm a big fan of it, is Hydro Thunder.
Hydro Thunder!
Yeah,
classic.
I had to find that, had to get it, and Jason actually ended up finding it for me before I got to it. And
don't they have Off-Road Thunder for the Dreamcast too?
Yes,
yeah, we played that the other day, Jason's version. Then past that, I got one Super Nintendo game, couple 64, because I want to get a 64 eventually. Again, that's Jason's influence. So I got, Perfect Dark for that, and Wayne Gretzky Hockey, because it was $2.
$2.
And me and Jason have played that game so much with my cousin Kyle, his brother. That game is just ridiculously fun. It's such an arcade game, but like it gets so intense. It's so intense.
I think everyone knows, like I'm not heavily into sports titles. I don't know. I like some of them, but I really like the arcadey stuff, like the NBA Jams, the NFL Blitz, those. And Wayne Gretzky 3D Hockey, man. If anyone has ever played that, you guys know the game is it's so much fun, and it's totally broken. It's just, from the word go. Seriously, you can score your puck in that net every time when there's 3, 2, or 1 second remaining in the game. You just run up and hit it, and it'll always go in every time.
It's ridiculous.
It's just so broken, but we love it. It's really fun. This podcast was created by retro video game collectors and YouTube show hosts Pete Dorr, Happy Console Gamer, Gamester81, and myself, Jason Heine. Make sure to follow along and subscribe to us on iTunes under the podcast section, All Gen Gamers. And if you want more information about this podcast, please visit www.allgengamers.com.